Elizabeth Warren technically abandoned 2 races this year. I once asked Dave how to spell scrotum, and he said, "Ooh, it's on the tip of my tongue." Leopard porn is like basketball, always starting with a tip-off. Stephen Hawking was a funny comedy writer. Not many people know that, but he was terrible at stand-up. Saying the amount of suicidal people has decreased is both a happy and alarming statement. There's a good chance a fork you used in a restaurant had been in the mouth of 1,000 hookers all celebrating a good night of work. My ex-girlfriend once had to put her dog to sleep while we were dating, so I decided to get her another one just like it. I was confused when she got mad at me, but now I get it. I mean, honestly, what is she going to do with 2 dead dogs? I just found out that calling British people Brits is offensive, kind of like calling Scottish people Scots or calling Craig a useless twat. Everyone in the Jenner/Kardashian family is famous for making dicks disappear. Say what you will about pedophiles, but at least they drive slowly in school zones. I used to coach a little league team for orphans. They were never able to find their way home. Job posting site Glassdoor revealed that 10% of employees have had sex at work. None of these employees had glass doors. My great uncle once told me I was too dependent on technology, so I unplugged his life support. Sabrina the Teenage Witch has a cat named Salem, which is kind of like a Jewish family naming their cat Auschwitz. I think the worst thing that can happen to a guy is if the only thing that could turn him on was the sight of his own flaccid dick. Think about that one for a second, folks. As you probably guessed, tonight's show is all about coronavirus and the hysteria surrounding it. So until the infection eats clear through the lining of our asses, I'm Brad, here with Dave and Craig, and this is Needless to Say. Maestro, hit my goddamn music.
Why do they call you Mouth in the movie?
There was not one Native American in history named Myron.
Think Bill Cosby fucked him?
No. All right, well, welcome back to Needless to Say. I am Dave. I'm here with Brad and Craig, 2 guys who should be wearing face masks, whether there's a virus outbreak or not. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
I have a special custom order in for the nose. This thing extends so far out, I'm actually funneling it into my nose right now. I'm just creating a conduit.
You get those fucking things that you see on the tops of boats, those cones. I get one of those.
He's waiting for the Museum of Natural History to send him a pterodactyl skull.
A plague mask. It was just one of his ancestors invented that. And it was legit.
Fuck you guys.
Put a bag over his head. No, put a bucket, but turn it sideways.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
So, Brad, how's your week?
Yep.
My week was fantastic. I won't get into the whole job thing, but I'm going to say this. From now on, I'm going to be announcing every time I leave my house, and I'm inviting every one of you to everything. Always. And because you don't have my calendar yet, you will. But
Share doc. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be Google Doc for the masses.
Yep.
But I'll be going to a bar this weekend. I'm going to go alone because I actually want some alone time. I feel like I've been spending too much time with people. But that said, you're all invited, so no one gets left out.
That's all I want, man. I just want to be invited. I'm not going to actually show up any place. I just want to know you want me there.
I didn't realize that was the tick. I should invite you here every week just so you don't show up.
I won't.
Also,
I'll go make sausage upstairs.
But I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah.
I should also tell everybody my car's gas tank typically gets filled on Sundays, usually after a late breakfast. So if you're down the hang, please join us at Cumberland Farms in Somerset, Massachusetts. I can guarantee a 5 to 7 minute stay, depending on how much gas we got to put in the tank. But tell everyone you know. We'll hang. It'll be great. Finally, this coming Thursday, I'm going to be going to Target in Swansea, Massachusetts. My first public restroom piss of the week will take place at Target in Swansea, roughly 7 p.m. at Target. Be there or be a trapezoid. All right.
Oh, be a trapezoid.
Also, I do want to say that in defiance of the world, I am drinking a Corona Seltzer tonight. Fuck you, germs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Such a badass.
He's a badass. Rebel.
This is the
Rebel without a job.
Rebel with no cause. He's so bad he doesn't even have to fight the man.
I'm sorry. It was there. It was like a fucking. It just like whoa. It just the clouds parted.
Those old Bugs Bunny cartoons where like the batter has to like wind up, take practice swings before the pitch gets there.
It was just there. Like,
It's fine. I'm going on strike this week.
yeah.
What are you protesting? Unemployment?
Me and my nose are a union of one.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Shit.
Fuck you and everything you all stand for. Fuck Dave twice for pretending to have a job.
Right?
I wish I could argue he's right.
I know.
He just hacks into other people's meetings and starts training them on things that they don't want to know.
Exactly. Like, who is this guy? just be quiet. Just let him go.
Every week I say to myself, I'm way overpaid for this.
And then-
way overpaid.
And then Craig shows up at fucking senior citizens' homes and says, "You ordered new flooring," and they're too demented to fucking realize they have
Yep.
it. So they write you big fat checks.
Yes, they do.
But do they pay you in fives?
Yep. And 50 cents.
And
they tip me 50 cents. Tell
and
me to go get ice cream.
Unbranded hard candies with little strawberries on the side.
Those squiggle fucking braid things. Like,
You're going to scrape the wrapper off with your fingernails because it's just stuck.
You ever wonder though, like the candies have no names on them, no words, no nothing. They're always Italian. It's always Guinea shit, but it's got a strawberry on the side and then somebody on the front of it picking strawberries.
yeah.
Like slave candy.
Slave
It
kid. Yeah.
never looks like the people who are actually picking the strawberries.
Yeah.
They're all happy and white.
Go on, take one.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was my week.
Yeah.
And one more time with feeling, fuck you guys.
Well, my week wasn't so bad. Started off.
Nobody asked.
I was going to tell you anyway.
He's even pushing through silence.
Started good. Went through.
To all our listeners, if you miss it now, it's okay. Go to the bathroom. He'll say it again.
Yeah. Right.
Check back for
We
segment
went to,
2, 3, 4.
Troy City Brewery. Is that the name of it?
Well, you were invited, so
Yeah,
you should.
which was awesome. It was cool because Brad invited me. But
Where was it? Oh, where is it, I should say?
It's right next to Canned Heat.
yeah, it's in
Oh,
Fall,
is it?
in Fall River, Massachusetts, right near the other.
It's
brewery
next to
camp.
Boneheads. Actually, it's in the
It's
same,
right behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was good. Cool place. Not huge, but it's nice.
It's more along the lines of some of the smaller breweries in town. It's not the big experience that some of these big places
Right.
are offering. But they had games for the
But-
kids. They were kid friendly.
Yeah, they were kid friendly, and not only that, they had like a good selection of food. Like even that, I
It was
was like,
pet friendly too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Funny thing was, I was like, oh, I was gonna get something to eat, so I'm like, I see on the thing cheese and crackers, like a platter. So I'm like, $8. I'm like, fuck it, I'll get it. I know it's gonna be like, I'm thinking like 4 pieces of cheese. There were fucking pieces of cheese. Fucking, how thick were those things?
You bought a brick of cheese and a box
Basic-
of crackers.
Basically, they gave you a box of crackers and a fucking block of Cracker Barrel. Like,
You could peg a door open with these
Yeah.
slices of cheese.
it was insane.
Bricks.
It was
Wow.
insane. I was like, it was well worth the $8.
I think you got it at cost.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about what a brick of cheese costs.
Yeah, because, I mean, it was plenty. I kind of got it for the table for everybody to snack on while having a few beers, you know?
Yeah.
We weren't, like, going nuts and party or anything. We were there. Brad's kids were there. We were just
If
hanging
we had
out.
invited other people, we would have bought 2,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but we didn't.
but we didn't.
Yeah. But then I called it, man. I'm telling you, Mother Nature's fucking with us because we haven't had any snow. We had one little snow.
Was it even this year?
Yeah. No.
It was December, I think.
It was in December. Yeah, it was in early December.
Yep.
And we got a little bit of snow, and that was it.
And the snow we had was on the weekends. It wasn't like... I remember a few years ago we had like a snowstorm every 3 days, and it was like Monday morning at 7.
I didn't shovel anything this year.
I shoveled once or twice, and it was more so to clear the walkway coming up to the door.
You guys have me to thank for this because I was this close to buying a snowblower.
Yeah.
And that was it. So apparently I triggered it enough to say, okay, no snow this year. We got to fuck with this guy. And so, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But then tonight on the drive here, it starts snowing.
Yeah.
And it's snowing pretty good. We were driving down the highway. No, I'm saying
it had that Millennium Falcon effect.
Yeah.
When you were driving
It's like the big flakes of snow that,
Yeah.
they reflect.
It's wet, though, and it's not really
It's not going to do anything.
But still, it's March.
Monday's supposed to be 61.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, like, the end of the week, it'll be 30 again. That's what I'm saying. Mother Nature's fucking with us. And I think we're going to get fucking one good fucking hammering before it's over.
You think so?
Yeah, I think we'll get, I mean, not anything crazy, but I think.
You sound like a death
we'll
row prisoner.
Yep.
The guards are going to come by for one last hammering.
I'm either working at Olive Garden or going to jail.
Yeah.
Either way, a bunch of salads getting tossed. That was so fucking funny.
There aren't many memes left that make me laugh. That
No,
one worked.
That
was a good one.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a meme. It was his high school quote.
It was his
right?
high school quote. It was a picture.
It's a yearbook quote, yeah.
He said, I'm either going to end up in jail or working at Olive Garden. Either way, a ton of salads are getting tossed.
Only one better than that I saw. There were 6 girls in this graduating class of a high school, all with the same last name, Nguyen. And it's a very common name over there.
Yeah.
I believe it's Vietnamese. And sure enough, they all used one word, and it said, "No, we are not related."
That's fantastic.
That was the only other one that I saw better than salad tossing Olive Garden guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid won graduation this year.
That's it. And then now he's going to immortalize that for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Unless you're smart like me to conveniently throw out your high school yearbook and never speak of it again.
Daddy, can I look at your yearbook? No.
Yeah.
No.
But
mine got peed on.
But that was pretty much it. I mean, my
Wait,
week was slow.
we can't skate past that. Who peed on it?
Oh, I
What?
did.
You, on purpose?
Well, sex is fun.
Time out.
Whoa! You said you weren't that close to
Dave,
Charlie.
how was your week?
No. You peed on your high school yearbook?
I got a lot of time to myself these days, guys. You ever talk to yourself so much that you start arguing?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
My workday wasn't healthy when I was working.
Yeah.
This is very bad.
You need a hobby.
You heard my intro, right?
I did. That shouldn't be your hobby.
I tell you right now, if you asked me to do another intro 5 minutes from now, it would be completely different,
But the same?
but the same. There's a lot of shit going on right now. I did do a little bit of work. I should mention this. I didn't call her out last week. A good friend of the show, Christy, actually reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to do a little freelance work on the side? So I did. But what I didn't realize is that her company was really fucking demanding. When I hear freelance work, I'm thinking kind of open-ended.
They'll throw you one thing or two. It's like,
No. This was like 2,800 words a day. And, make them good and a lot of back and forth revisions, and the bosses are on top of everything. And she's doing a really great job. It's a great company.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time in my job hunt to devote to this.
right.
And so I do want to give a shout out to Christy, but I have to say, as my immediate supervisor, you were kind of a twat. I love you, kid. I really do, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. But Christ on a crutch, if I ever work for you again, I'll shave my balls with a rusty fork. I told her I was going to shout her tonight. No, I was good. The company just has real demanding needs, and I can't do that and apply for jobs and interview
Right.
and do all that.
Yeah, you can't interview and be reasonable to say, hey, yeah, let me get that. I'll get that to you today, and not be able to do it.
I should also say
through.
this: the company paid me wampum. I either have a seashell necklace or the island of Manhattan. I really don't know.
Like he has 2 beaver pelts and a buffalo hide. Thanks.
But again,
Moving on.
But again, Christy, seriously, thank you very much, and I'm sorry that you were a twat.
Five barrels of maize in a room at Foxwoods.
Maze in a room at Foxwoods.
VIP status.
The other day, someone was posted this big sob story about Native Americans on Facebook. The other day, a friend of ours.
Now?
Yeah.
Story's been told.
So they're like, oh, this big sob story about it, like, oh, blah blah blah, and they can't do this with their land, with the reservations. They can't do this in their reservations. And I just sent a picture of Foxwoods. Like, they can't do anything on their land. They can't do this. They can't do that. I just sent it was just a giant photo of fucking Foxwoods Casino.
The biggest casino in the country. Here it is.
Also, if you believe anybody there is anything more than, like, you have more of a claim over Africa than these folks do over Native American land. No, there was not one Native American in history named Myron. You have more ownership over the Gaza Strip.
Yeah. Oh, shit. But yeah, I was like, I was like, wow, a dick. But I just couldn't help it. I'm like, what? What do you mean they can't do anything on their land? like fucking 2 gigantic casinos within fucking a mile from each other. What the fuck?
Like Brad said, you're not going to offend Chief Sitting Leibowitz.
Chief Master Jeweler.
Yeah.
Me counting money.
Dances in circles.
Oh, Jesus.
Lifting a totem pole up in a chair when he turns 13.
Yeah. Oh, man. How did this happen?
We're the worst people ever.
We're up there.
Oh, speaking of the worst people ever,
Dave.
Perfect.
Why don't you tell us how your week was?
The week was fine. You guys mentioned some of those memes that have been going around. We were talking about this, that they've kind of been played out with this coronavirus ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And one that Brad mentioned was that there's a meme that says if you've gone to the bathroom at like a punk rock concert, you can survive.
Yeah.
And I saw that a couple days ago, and I started laughing fucking uncontrollably to myself. My wife's like, "What?" And I was like, "Nothing. Hold on." And I had to write it down on our outline so I didn't forget.
Yep.
So here's what was triggered in my brain. It said punk rock concert, and I thought, oh, shit, I've been to some of those. And I flashed back to a concert I went to in college. It was my freshman year, maybe. And we went to this place probably about 35, 40 miles from campus. I don't remember the band. The place was full, but I remember about halfway through the show, my stomach dropped, and I was like, oh, no. You know how like you feel like you have to take a shit sometimes, but you can gauge it like how much time you have until you actually have to take the shit. Yeah. You know it's there, but you get this internal clock.
I'm 2 episodes of Friends away.
Yeah. Right.
The fucking worst part is your clock is broken. We've discussed this already.
It's somebody's fast forwarding the DVR most of the time.
No, there have been times
his
that I didn't.
clock is set 15 minutes ahead and keeps hitting the snooze. That's the problem.
Well, in this case, it was a stopwatch. That was my time. It was like, I need a bathroom right now.
Yeah.
There was no warning shots, nothing. Just all of a sudden you gotta go. And it's not the kind of shit that you can just pinch and hold back. Because it's the shit that's coming out like piss.
Yep. Oh, Jesus.
So I gotta go take a shit at some fucking rock concert bathroom where there's always a line. So I finally make it into the stall, and I have at it. Like I look like I went to the gym in my dress clothes, like sweating through layers of like my flannel was matted to my chest, kind of. You know what I mean? But the worst part was after I lost 6 pounds and I'm cleaning myself up. I flush it because I get more cleaning to do, right? So I get halfway.
I do that too. I do a paper round.
Yeah.
It's just a multiple flush affair.
Yeah, right. So like you get it. It's.
What the?
But in public, you probably
Listen,
made
all right,
your
listen.
hand look like a Q-tip.
No, listen. You guys, we've all raked leaves in the fall, right? Well, your first time through the yard, you get like the bulk of them, right? Real quick, you get a big pile, you move.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna go back, you got a leaf stuck around the edges, underneath the slide.
Yeah.
I was going back to get all the little leaves,
Are
right?
you wiping little piles of shit on your own ass? Is that what you're doing?
No, just listen, I'm making sure it's all out. Here's the thing: after I flush the first round, it doesn't go down,
Of course not.
so it stops.
Yep.
So now I have 2 dilemmas. One, I'm in a stall that's just clogged, and I can't. There's no fucking plunger. There's nothing. The second dilemma is I have more to throw in the toilet. So I just have to keep piling on what was already there.
Yep.
Basically, I'm making mountain
So
shit.
it looked like a basket when you were done.
It looked like a melting soft ice cream cone in the middle of a bowl is what it looked like. But, so I have to do this now.
I'm gonna puke.
Now,
know.
this is all happening to the sounds of like music coming through the walls. So like the bass is just rattling, the pictures hanging on the walls.
Yeah.
And there's a line of people waiting to piss wherever they can. Now I have to come out of the stall looking like I just got deloused by a bunch of police at a fucking riot and tell 17 people you can't go in there. Pretty much because it looks like someone backed up the sewage, which was pretty much what happened. So I
yeah.
have to leave the stall, walk by people like, sorry, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't use it. You can't.
I would have
Full.
I would have walked out and said some gross motherfucker was in there.
But all the people that saw me come out, like the line went into the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was one of those places where the doors just open,
Yeah.
so the line didn't start in the hallway. They were
yeah.
like in, almost like when you go to a football game or something.
Yeah.
And they were well aware of what shoes you were wearing.
Oh yeah.
I would have been like, I shoved a fetus in there and everything went wrong. At least then they'd back off.
Yep. Exactly.
Nobody wants to be around for that conversation.
It was not a moment that I could wait. I had to go that instant.
Yep.
I didn't shit myself, but I ruined shits for a bunch of other people that night.
A bunch of other people did because of you.
Probably. Yep.
What the fuck band was playing? Who was
could-
hitting the brown note?
Rancid.
Rancid. I was going to say Brown Day, but it's way better. Rancid's way better.
Skid Row.
There you go.
Bad digestion.
Holy shit.
But yeah, that one stupid meme. It's one of those stories that happened, but I just put it out of my mind because why would I tell people that story?
I gotta tell you, I love your shit stories. I don't like that you labeled this one. This one is for Vin, meaning my brother.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Well, every time I've told a shit story, a week or two later, you're like, my brother just laughing at this and that. I'm like, well.
No, I think even down in Florida where he's surrounded by people in diapers, he's like, all right, enough, Dave.
Craig's sister was a nurse. Like that's you gotta. That's
Yeah. That's
He's sitting down there like Shrek. There's more to me. I have layers.
like an onion.
Oh, I tell you right now, when he comes up, and he is coming up soon. When he comes up, he's going to sit on a microphone with us. And
Nice.
Oh, I can't wait.
It'll probably be garage time at that point.
Yep.
Should be
Perfect.
We're not far off. We're only
Yeah.
a few weeks away, really.
Oh, based on the snow outside, yeah, I'd say so.
But really, the if we have a few more weeks of what we've been having, we'll be comfortable enough to sit out
Yeah,
back there.
absolutely.
I've already started cleaning it and
Yeah.
everything. I mean, obviously the plans that we had for it aren't near where we're at, but we'll get it.
I think it's nice enough we crank up that heat quick.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll be fine.
Blast that
We'll be
room
fine.
up.
I should
We'll
give
be
it
fine.
3-4 more weeks.
and I think we'll be good. So, anyway, that was my week. Was just having that kind of memory flashback to me from college.
So you created danger.
I did.
You created danger
Yep.
for people, but nobody has experienced more danger this week and will experience more danger this week than the one, the only, the inimitable Corey Feldman.
fucking Corey Feldman.
Craig,
Fucking guy.
if you would please
Yep.
read this headline.
Corey Feldman says his life is in danger over documentary exposing Hollywood abusers.
Danger.
This segment brought to you by James
Hold on,
Danger
hold on.
Barbecue Sauce.
As soon as I heard his life was in danger, I just thought,
Please.
I wish this guy. I wish he was a boy that was a little more lost.
yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Fucking license to drive off a cliff.
Now, my whole thing is, all right, so he's, he said, when he first came out and said, he was abused, it's like, all right, that fucking sucks. I get it.
Yeah.
I felt for the guy.
Oh, you
Then
felt for him.
Yeah.
I thought he was just going to admit to feeling him.
Yeah, no.
That's different. That's why he's doing this.
I felt for the guy. I was like, that's awful. You know what I mean? He was taking it as a child actor. He was taking advantage of it, and that's fucking awful. And it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's like, yeah, and I'm gonna fucking rat this person out. And you're like, all right, tell Michael Jackson, okay, just get it out.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's like, yeah, I'll do it next month.
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, hey everybody, you forgot, I was molested, right? Yeah. So is Corey Haim. Now that he's dead, I'm gonna tell his story too.
He got it worse.
Yeah.
He was just touched.
Yeah.
Corey Heyman apparently was just raped
fucking-
mercilessly.
Someone broke his ham. That's
Well, have you seen them?
Yeah.
No one wants to fuck Feldman.
No.
Haim was the pretty one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Feldman had the personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, Feldman was the fat chick you had to buddy up to get to the pretty one. It's
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll fucking grab her titties
yeah.
and stuff. I want to fuck that one.
Whatever, Froggy or whatever the fuck they call you, that fucking. But
Big pile of goo. me.
but so I did feel bad, but then it's been years.
This
now
has become his vehicle to stay relevant.
to stay relevant, and he
What a
keeps dragging
try.
it out, and apparently he made a documentary, and he claims about being in danger, and people want to kill him because he's going to out these people. Why haven't you just done it? Wouldn't it have been better to just go on fucking say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go on 2020 right now.
2020
or
doesn't
whatever.
want him.
Or fucking 60 minutes or some
That's
shit.
the problem. Nobody believes him. He shopped this documentary to Netflix, Hulu, and a couple like Crackle.
Yeah.
And he did a bunch of these free streaming sites because he wanted to distribute, and none of them would touch it because most of their bills are being paid, or at least supported, by the people he's about to accuse. What I think he's been doing all these years is getting his legal shit in order so he can't be countersued. I think he's trying to get, indisputable proof that all of this happened, and he's protecting himself legally. I have no doubt that he was diddled like a motherfucker.
Oh, no, I don't doubt him.
Think about some of the stars that killed themselves on drugs or otherwise. I mean, Will Wheaton's the exception. He somehow made it out because nobody wanted to fuck him. And I'm glad you ended up on the Big Bang.
Are you telling me that Wheaton was less desirable than Corey Feldman?
Corey Feldman had a certain mystique about him back when he was young. He carried himself like a big star.
All right, I guess.
And Corey Haim, well, he fuckable. Will Wheaton looked like a live-action Beaker. So I don't think anybody was fucking him anyway.
But he was on one of the biggest shows on television.
Yeah, but he took second fiddle to a guy in like 8 hours of makeup, a rubber mask.
It was also 15, 20 years after his last project.
Yep. Which was probably one of the biggest.
It was.
Actually with Corey Feldman.
Yeah, he stood by him.
Yep.
And that was it. That was it. He didn't actually act or get raped. He just stood by him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the lead. He was the lead actor in that
He
movie.
was the jizz rag.
That's
him-
right.
But it was him,
That's why he looks that way.
River Phoenix.
Yeah, and look,
fucking-
River Phoenix ended up well.
Yeah.
He came out of that one okay. And then who was the kid that threw up everywhere?
That's what I was trying to think who that one was.
That might have been Fat River Phoenix, wasn't it?
No. River Phoenix was the tough kid smoking butts and fucking.
Oh, no, that was Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry
That's
O'Connell.
right.
Yeah,
he turned out well, too.
yeah.
That's right. Nobody's acting, hiring him to
Yeah.
act. So, really, Will
he
Wheaton.
did marry Rebecca Romaine.
You mean Rebecca Romaine Stamos? Yeah.
Well, dude, she could have 17 last names. She could be my Romaine.
Yeah.
I will have that salad.
I was going to say that's the closest you've gotten to a salad
That's
in a long time. But anyway, so Will Wheaton not fuckable. Anyway, so going on. But Corey Feldman really feels that his life is in danger because he is going to expose. He claims everybody that he's going to out, we know.
Yeah.
So Michael Jackson's obviously on that list, but it's probably Weinstein.
Think so?
I had the same thought. He's going to name a
think
bunch
so?
of people that have already been blown up, and that there's going to be.
I think he's connecting his name to as many people still in the headlines as possible.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby's probably in there.
Probably.
Think Bill Cosby fucked him?
No. But I think Bill Cosby will be a name he mentions.
I think he sodomized him with a pudding pop.
Yeah. You got to put this in your butthole.
It was just
the pudding pop.
It was just a pop first, then it was pudding pop after.
Is my ass going to be okay? Yeah, preservatives.
Yeah. No, but
Why do they call you Mouth in the movie?
That's fantastic. No, but I think, like I said, I feel bad for it, but I think it's just he's also using it to just stay relevant too. And remember, was it last year? Oh, someone tried to kill me. They injected me with the needle.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, no. First it said somebody opened my car door and stabbed me.
Yes.
Then he got to the hospital and they're like, nobody stabbed you. Well, they must have injected me with the needle. And then they're like, okay, you can go.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish that was the most ridiculous thing he's done, but just this morning, TMZ reported something because it was he was starting to tease the thing last night or Wednesday, right?
No, it was
Yeah.
a couple days ago. He went on the show of the esteemed person we talked about.
Yes.
Wendy Williams.
Oh.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the venue he picked to announce his documentary.
Who else would have him?
Right.
Arsenio Hall wouldn't have him right now, and he doesn't have a show.
I think it's funny he'd go to a person who looks like the man that allegedly fucked him.
Yeah.
I love Wendy Williams coming. But Corey Feldman this week apparently claimed that because he's releasing this documentary like any day now on his own personal website,
Yeah.
and he's only going to
Pay-per-view.
air it once. I don't think it's pay-per-view.
Oh, no, it is.
Is it really?
I'm not
That's what I-
paying
that's
for
It's
what
that.
on. It's on two
that's what-
websites.
That's what I hear. I hear you have to pay for it. I don't know.
He
I
has
have to
he
look
has a
into that.
website with his name attached to it, and the website it's like they're too true, or whatever it is. Like some
The two
Oh,
Corys.
No.
no, there's two websites that he was releasing.
I think
it on,
you're
thought.
mistaken. It's called Rape Your Poo. Big difference. Big difference. But anyway, let me get this out because I will forget it. Corey Feldman woke up on Thursday morning and there was a wolf pack threat on his doorstep. Now, the wolf pack, according to him, is like the Illuminati of Hollywood, and they're
Yeah.
preventing him from they don't want him to reveal these names. According to Corey Feldman's world and Corey Feldman's mindset, this group of wolf pack vigilantes, I guess, are trying to prevent him from spreading the truth. And so right after he announced that this was going to be appearing any day now,
Yep.
he found a picture of a bunch of wolves
I thought it was an album cover
or
from the
something,
picture.
something like that.
It was a Wham album for Hungry Like the Wolf. It was just fucking land. in
That's
his yard.
Duran Duran. Get your shit
Yeah,
straight.
yeah, they're the same fucking thing.
He's like the band wasn't the punchline.
But, he's like, oh, I found it on he called the cops. And the cops are like, how do we know you didn't put this on your own doorstep?
Yeah.
And that was it. So I don't know. I mean, when is this thing really coming out?
That's
seen
Monday.
it on-
That's what I'm saying.
It's coming out on Monday,
That's what I'm saying. He called the cops for that,
right?
right?
But
But he didn't. He hasn't gone to the cops for getting fucked in the butt, or getting his butthole diddled. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I get it that it's years later, and I think part of it might be that maybe it's past the point of.
but wouldn't you still report it,
Look at what happened.
even if
to
it can't be
Harvey-
There's no
prosecuted?
statute of
Listen,
limitations on rape.
No, that's right.
There's none.
Probably not in California.
No, I think in California, I think there is.
No. Ding, ding. I got to get Benson and Stabler on this one.
But anyway, look at Harvey Weinstein. He was one of the most powerful. He was the elite of the elite in Hollywood.
Yep.
And these women came out against him, and they're like, fuck you. And he's going down, and he's down. And fuck him. Good.
Yeah.
You know, and he can go fuck himself, and I hope he fucking rots in prison.
He just had heart surgery. So he's fucking
Good.
everybody's money. No, because we're paying for it now. Now he's a resident of the
No,
state.
I hope it
So
fucking
we're-
gets infected.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
He needs to get raped in prison for this to be
Yep.
justified.
But
I've said raped a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Not comfortable with it.
But what I'm getting at is he should be able to say, hey, listen, this happened to me because apparently if it happened to him, it happened to other child actors. With Corey Haim, there was other people running in that group too. And whether they want to come out or not.
Well, Ma'am and George are running a train on Webster.
But, yeah. But I mean, you can go out there and say, hey,
This is a miniature train.
Ma'am and George.
It's a Christmas tree train. It goes right.
They bought special strap-ons that were smaller than they were supposed to. What gets me about this documentary is he's paying for it, producing it, starring in it, and releasing it on his own website.
Yeah.
Because it's too dangerous.
Right. It's 'cause it's fucking ridiculous.
I think he should just go for it.
Wait a minute. 5, 4, 3, 2.
So baby, let's go for it. Come on, let's go for it.
Yes.
The gift that keeps on giving. Thank you, Corey.
You'll be moaning all night. We say go for it. Go for it.
No, but it's awful that because we're laughing about the fact that when he was a kid, someone fucking molested him. That's fucking
No,
awful.
we're laughing at the fact he's a fucking reject and he can't just
He's
deal with
using
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's taking that thing and he's using it.
That's his only
As a
vehicle to
tool-
be famous.
Yeah, to be
famous,
relevant.
air quotes.
And he just keeps using it to get himself out in front of the camera again. That's what pisses me off about it.
Yeah.
Because if he was serious about this, he would have just when he became an adult and finally realized, you know what? Fuck these people. I'm going to the fucking cops. And he would have been more relevant if he went to the cops and then said, you know what? I'm going to go sit on fucking some show and say, this guy did this and accuse all these people fucking right there on the spot and say fucking deny it. And stood his ground and been like, fuck you. And then, because then all of a sudden the next day he fucking died in a car accident, everybody be like, oh. Right. You know what I mean?
Wolfpack.
I don't know. Yeah, Wolfpack was there.
I really hope he dies. And I didn't take him in the death pool, but I think it's a symbolic victory for everybody. I think we should all get points for Corey Feldman dying. And for Corey Haim, for that matter. You can't spell assassination without two asses. And that's really where it is. But anyway, so my intro wasn't about coronavirus, even though I said it was. This episode so far hasn't been about coronavirus,
No.
even though we said it was. What do you say?
Let's talk about coronavirus.
Let's we're talking about hype getting out of hand, and I think that's an ideal
Yeah.
intro into what is
Yeah,
happening
exactly.
here. And I think we're not going to do the memes, folks. If anybody at this table says anything about coronavirus and Lyme's disease, they're out of the show.
Yeah.
They're off the show forever.
None of those hacky fucking.
That's
It's so
why
sickening.
Matt is not here tonight. We were going to have Matt back,
Yeah.
but Matt made the same gym sock reference 4 times last week.
He is related to Craig.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Matt, really, we expected more. Just fucking kidding. Last week was killer. Last week was a lot of fun, but if you ever say gym sock again, you're off forever. All right, so that's it. This headline really caught me because it was a guy who literally said, hey, I got cured from the coronavirus, and he said it right on live TV because there were reporters right outside of
Live press conference.
Yes, in an Iranian hospital.
As he's talking to the press about how amazing the doctors were in the hospital that cured him.
Most amazing thing about this is that the Iranian hospital had real doors.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a beaded curtain separating them from the fucking... But this guy was standing in what looked like a parking garage.
Yeah.
And he's standing out there and he's answering, and there's microphones in his face, and it looked like a real big deal. And he's saying in Farsi all of the things that, I thought I was sick and I'm not. Then out of nowhere, 2 of the fattest fucking out of shape nurses in the world came running out and grabbed him saying, he is not well. He is not well.
Yeah.
And the woman who had the microphone in his face, her face wasn't on camera, but you know what it looked like. She
Yeah.
was like, oh, and pulled her hand back like, I have this now.
Yeah.
The nurses rushed out so quickly. And
They
got,
grabbed him and like shoved him in the
Yeah.
room. Like, get the fuck in there.
They looked like the Secret Service when shots were fired, and they just grabbed the president,
Yeah.
bundled him, and threw him back inside.
That motherfucker was trying to leave the hospital. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
and so, I'm loving what's happening on YouTube where people are just running around being chased by people in like hazmat suits.
Yeah.
They're doing this, and they're all wearing like hospital gowns,
scrubs. Yeah.
or the gowns, and then they're running.
Oh,
just
my God.
they're getting out of cars and just sprinting, and two people in hazmat suits are chasing them. You're seeing cars pull off the road and everything. It's so fucking good. I thought this was a joke when I saw it,
I did too.
but it's not.
It's not. It's too Iranian to be a joke.
Yeah.
It looks like it was filmed in 1982.
Yeah, it does.
Why
It
does everything over there look like sandpaper?
Right.
I know it's sandy there, but why is everybody just like 40 grit over
It
there? I
looked
don't
like they should have been releasing
grainy
like Jewish hostages from a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the footage looked like. You know what I mean?
It doesn't look like it was filmed in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's like TWA flight, and they're fucking wheeling the ramp up.
I swear to God, the reporter had a microphone like Bob Barker used to use, like talking to the guy.
Yes.
You ever needed a really skinny, almost impractical microphone? Bob Barker was your guy.
Yep.
A little
Yep.
mushroom-tipped dickhead.
It's a fucking baton. Can just march into the Price is Right.
Yeah.
Expelliarmus.
But yeah, they fucking wrestle that guy away. Now everybody in that room's got it because when you speak Farsi, you know you're spitting all over the place. You're like, this shit just spraying all over the fucking room.
I cleared my throat once and started a fatwa.
Yeah.
They all immediately left to lick the same statue for good luck.
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking people are insane.
What the
Well,
fuck is
I'm
that?
hoping that everybody in Iran, because, you know, we are a show for the people, and this week we were a show for the people of Iran. They had not one but two outstanding medical breakthroughs. One, a guy who was cured and then wasn't.
And then was it? Yeah.
Okay. And then, if you would scroll down.
Oh yeah.
He
Well,
should have followed this man's
right.
ideas.
All he had to do was rub some essential oils on his anus
Yeah.
to cure the coronavirus.
There's actually several steps.
Oh yeah.
Brad knows the steps.
Oh, I do. Step one, cut a hole in a box.
Yeah.
No, the steps are, according to Iranian medical officials, in order to, it doesn't say cure, but it's basically staving off the effects of coronavirus.
Yeah.
You will effectively immunize yourself if you, one, comb your hair thoroughly.
Comb your hair.
That's
thoroughly.
a huge dedication in time. Like that's
Yeah.
a big commitment
Yeah.
over there in Iran.
That's it, because,
Yeah.
you know, and
So basically from head to toe.
right.
You can brush your back hair.
Everybody ran out and got yard rakes.
Yeah.
And married people, make sure you get under those burqas real good. You got to comb that
Yep.
too. Secondly, and this was the one that killed me. I was on the floor laughing at this one. Eat lots of apples and onions.
Yeah. What the fuck? They do say an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Tell me what biting into a Vidalia is going to do. So you eat lots of apples and onions and your hair is combed. So you're looking good and smelling outstanding at this point. But here's where it gets great. Dip a cotton ball in oil. Doesn't say what kind of oil.
It does. It was rose leaf essential oil.
That's great because you know that desert environment is perfect for growing roses.
Yeah, it is.
But you dip a cotton ball in oil and then you insert into your anus.
Yeah.
Like it's something, and it's said so matter of factly, like just shove it the
Just
fuck
shove
in there.
it in your butthole.
And that's it. And then wait for the magic to happen. Go out and breathe on everyone. You're good.
You're good. And that's what I thought. My thing was like, the good thing is, so your hair looks nice, your breath smells like shit, and your asshole is fucking fragrant. Just fucking. So when you die, you're all set. Basically, they're having you embalm yourself basically prior to being killed. The fucking coroner doesn't have to do any work.
Yeah, cut out your own eyes and put golf balls in instead so they don't sink later. Make sure you do that. Put on lots of makeup.
Super glue your lips together.
That's it. Stitch them if you can.
Yeah, if you can.
I mean, you know, what do they do? One clinical trial and say, that's it.
the one.
Muhammad wants us to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said his name. Fuck you all.
Fatwa.
This sounds as effective as Preparation G.
Yeah. but they're just like, roll up a cotton ball, stuff it in your ass, but essential oil on it, you're good.
Dave, have you tried this?
No, not yet.
I mean, you got a baby in the house. You really do need all the
You
precautions.
need all the precautions. You comb your hair, stuff cotton balls in your butt, and fucking eat onions.
Get under Rand's burqa.
Yeah.
Do you guys role play with that? Do you ever do terrorist and captive?
Terrorist.
Dave's getting good with the video in the back. You just see it like there's a plane in the background. Make it look like a cave.
Oh my God.
All right, so I'll take that as a no, but
These are the same people, if I remember right, a few weeks ago, were talking about eating cow dung and urine.
Yeah.
For similar issues, right?
Yeah. Was it? No. Was it Iran?
It wasn't coronavirus.
it was definitely Iran. And we're really trying to appeal to them. I don't know if we should reveal this or not, but we're getting regular listenership in Iran.
We have been getting for some reason.
There's like one guy. I'm hoping it's a soldier.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
One of ours. If so, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
But if you're not, and you're one of our new Iranian friends, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Guy's trying to listen to this right now. He's brushing his hair and shoving stuff in his butt.
How can you eat your own shit if you've got a cotton ball in there?
Yeah.
He's just laying on his belly in like his fucking blowing fragrant, oily bubbles out of his ass.
Now they just
These guys so funny.
No, they just pluck the cotton ball out and tuck it in their lip like fucking dip.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
That's a skull packet.
Skid, it's called.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
All right. Actually, I think the other thing was Indians. Ah, fuck, we did it
Was
again,
it?
didn't we?
We
Yeah,
did.
I think we
it
did.
was. That's why I said that. I was like, are you sure it was Iran? I think it was India.
We're going to have to record
What were
that
we talking
disclaimer
about
now. Needless to say, really does love brown people.
They're hilarious. They're the gift that keeps on giving.
I seriously, we'll stop making fun of you when these headlines stop appearing.
Yes.
I'm talking about American coronavirus, and my Google feed was filled with words like oils and anus.
Yeah.
And then you do a quick Google map search, and guess what? It ain't over here. So anyway, fuck it.
Where do you find all these fragrant flowers in the desert?
I don't know. Who knows?
Can you imagine trying to stuff a cotton ball in your ass like soaked in oils, but it gets covered in sand at the same time?
You find the one oasis in the middle of the desert, and it's just a bunch of people ramming flowers up their ass.
3,800 people squatting backwards over a pond.
There were more flowers there, but people panicked about SARS all those years ago.
It's the worst tea bag ever.
Do you know what I'd like on my anus? 2 lips.
Like, all those Iranian dudes stand up. Looks like a fucking box of kitty litter.
Bunch of cats trying to bury him. Again, please be an American GI.
Yeah.
Right?
I give a fuck. Scroll down.
I give a fuck.
See, do you know what? The one reason that they're not doing the obvious things. You know, shoving shit up your ass like essential oils and everything seems a bit extreme. Over here, we're a little more pragmatic.
Yeah.
The country's not
This was a legit study.
a legit study.
Which means it went through at least 2 phases of testing.
Yes. Yeah.
I did 2 phases of testing today alone. There are perks to this whole unemployment thing. But I will say this. The best way to, beat a virus is to beat off. Masturbation boosts your immune system, helping you fight off infection and illness. I have a feeling this article's like 20 years old, but because of the coronavirus, it's come to surface. Somebody updated it, and just saying that you're less prone to infection if you're constantly just jizz-free and happy.
Yeah, jizz-free and happy.
I gotta get the poison out.
Yep.
Demons be gone.
The only problem is the only side effects are fucking you go blind and grow hair in your palms.
But you ain't coughing.
But you're not coughing. Safe to say nobody in this room is getting sick.
Healthy as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like that cop from last week's show. He's gonna walk out in the snow and box. Gonna open wounds on my body. Bring it on.
You'll do an intimate one-on-one interview with that guy in Iran. No mask. I don't give a shit.
Well, apparently when you jerk off, it's like an endorphin rush. And when those endorphins hit your body, it teaches your nerve receptors to kind of fight off anything negative.
Makes sense.
I mean, obviously I'm really dumbing it down there, but there is a medical precedent, I guess is the best way to say it, that if you're happy, you're less likely to get sick.
Yeah.
Which in turn will keep you happier.
Yeah,
So
because they say stress lowers your immune system.
right.
And stressed out people are always sick. They never feel good.
Yep.
A lot of it's depression, but not all of it.
No.
There are physical ramifications for this. So I get it. If you jerk off, you bust a nut, you don't have to cuddle, you don't have to have awkward conversation, and you save money on dinner. I'm not really worried about a virus either. Really a fantastic thing.
Not to mention, if all you do is jerking off, you're not going out. You're not going to see anybody or interact with
Why
people.
would you go out anyway? What's 90% of the reason most single people go out? To get laid. I mean, women, I can't speak for them. I have never gone out as a woman.
Craig?
Awkward pause.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, honestly, think about it. Everything you do, okay, whether you want to meet somebody, you want to go out, you want to be social, you drink a lot of alcohol, you want to get drunk. Why? All of it's to lower your inhibitions, and hopefully somebody else is lowering theirs too.
Yeah.
That's really all it was ever about. Let's be. I mean, even as married guys, got to admit we all liquor up our wives from time to time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. For the sole purpose of like rolling onto her and hoping that she doesn't fight you off.
Yeah. Last week, I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna fucking link you up good, and shit's going down. It ain't gonna be no normal shit going down. But, yeah.
Roll over. I got some oils and cotton balls.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
So many. My tongue is bleeding from biting it.
But Brad wants to say something. So
You have no idea.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, Craig, I'm not going to out you, but man, you were a rock star last week. In every sense of the term.
Nice.
It was fucking funny.
But anyway, so yeah, I getting back to this. I say dip me in a bowl of trans fats and cancer. I will fight off all of it.
Yeah.
I actually wish I could just fight off infection because I'm bored during the day. I just want to fight it off like launching jizz rockets into the air and making like this pew, 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 pew laser noises. And John Williams is playing in the background. Like, I wish I could actually see infection floating in the air and chase it around with a semi-erect penis.
The funny thing is, was it like 2 episodes ago I talked about jerking off with the fever?
Yes.
Yeah. Said how it kind of sucks. It burns. All that shit. I was actually curing myself.
Self-medicating.
Yeah. It was better than like fucking Zicam.
Remember those like dish soap commercials where they would show like a graphic representation of the soap hitting the dish and the dirt just disappearing?
Yeah.
That's what the tube of your dick looked like.
The tube of your dick.
What is it, PVC? I don't even know. I'm not handy.
Urethra Franklin. That's what you call it, right?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out how he peed on me.
That was a shitty joke. No, but this coronavirus shit is fucking so out of hand and ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
That I got people that I know at work that are fucking running for like, the shelves are empty. You got to go to the store. No,
Why?
they're not. They're not empty. I was just at the store. They're not empty.
They're fine.
And did you see there was a photo? Because
At Costco.
did you see that? But did you see the photo the person in Costco took of the reporters?
No.
And all the stuff is on the floor.
Come on.
Yeah, they got caught. It was MSN.
So the reporters took all the shit off the shelves.
Yeah.
Then took pictures.
Yeah,
Scumbags.
there's people were going in and buying all this shit.
Well, like you
and
said,
it
those
was-
people at Home Depot a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
All right.
People were doing that. They weren't running out, but
No.
you could see. Like, I went to BJ's the other day. I saw a bunch of people with a shitload of like Lysol and bleach.
Yep.
I saw those people there. When I walked in, there was still a shitload of Lysol and bleach.
Yeah.
And there was still a shitload of paper towels and everything else. And people walking through the store. And we're in Rhode Island. We have confirmed cases here. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not, you know, so if you would think if anywhere, people here would be panicking and you would get that.
Right.
It's not like that. It's just like the fucking swine flu, you know, and
Swine
and
flu,
SARS
wow.
and SARS and all this shit that everybody panicked about before. Is it bad? Yeah. Nobody wants to get it. But it's fucking
But most people who get it get through it.
yeah.
It's the flu.
It's the flu.
It's a different form of the flu that lasts a little longer.
It's a little stronger. It's a
And
little.
It's
yeah.
people are scared because we haven't been exposed to it before.
Yeah.
Actually, we have. If you look at those Lysol bottles that everybody's ripping off
Oh,
the shelves.
yeah.
It's a different strain of that.
It's a different-
Coronavirus is a generic term. Now we've given it a name. What is it?
COVID-19,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Which is a great
Actually,
name.
there's
Catchy. rolls
another
right off the tongue.
another
it's a great band name.
another name for it now is SARS something something. They actually started calling it a different SARS thing. For
Well,
some
because
reason.
people were getting cocky about it.
Yeah.
So what was the last one that really scared us? Well, Zika.
Zika virus.
But
yeah.
before that, it was SARS. Before that, it was MERS. We've had a bunch of these.
yeah.
You know, and I've seen all the memes. It doesn't happen.
West
every-
Nile virus.
West Nile
Everybody's
virus.
gonna fucking die from that.
And that was it. It was on every bottle of off everywhere. And I think it still is.
It is because it's still around here. We get cases of it every year.
Yeah, people die.
Yeah.
You know what?
Malaria is a little worse, and it's fucking all over the place.
yeah,
For the record, people dying is how you get good rents.
Yeah.
Stop bitching.
like I think what's the death toll worldwide? It's like 3,000.
Yeah. You know the
Like
death
the
toll for the flu.
the
is?
regular flu is like 10,000 in this country.
It's like 15.
Yeah.
I think. They're talking about before the end of the flu season. They're talking about 30 to 40,000
Right.
people dead, not infected, dead.
And they're dead because they have weak immune systems
Weak
because
immu- yeah.
90% of them are elderly.
Just like
Right.
this disease.
Yeah.
Just like coronavirus.
The Wuhan province is not just a bunch of people walking around with open sores.
Yeah.
They might not have access to the same quality health care that we might have over here.
The Wuhan
Yeah.
province.
But
I
they
like
do.
that. I like that.
But they do. I mean, they have. It's decent. They're in the city. They're not. It's not in the outskirts of.
It's not a clean city. That's the thing. Like
No,
like
it's not. There's a gazillion people in there, but still, the more the fatality, the more like the fatality rate is like 2%. The fatality rate of the flu is like
way higher.
It's like 1%,
But more people get it.
but more people get it. But we're at 2% of what 100,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot. Whatever percentage is dangerous. Whatever. Nobody wants it. I don't want, elderly people in my family or very young children in my family to have it. Of course not. Is it scary? Yeah. So is the flu.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the thing is that there are flu shots that people can go and get. There is no shot for this right now. So
And
it's
nobody over
but-
there even has flu shots. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's any kind of regulated flu shot in mainland China.
No.
And when you sleep,
They're like, yeah, shove this in your ass.
There's probably vending machines all around. You can buy some flu shots in.
Like, oh, shove this gecko tail in your butt. You'll be all set. It is China. we do have to remember. They're like, hey, grind up this goat horn and drink it, and you'll get a boner.
I do want to pull back the curtain here and let everybody know that Craig also said that the other shot they could get in there in China was sake. And
Yeah.
I just want to remind him that not all of Asia is the same.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, when you're sleeping 9 to a bunk, you're working 18 to 22-hour days.
Yeah.
You are not seeing your family for weeks or months at a time. You are not given the level of health care that we would have even here, and our healthcare system sucks. But
Yeah.
at least our doctors are knowledgeable. There's a very good chance disease is going to spread, and it's going to spread quickly. There's also, believe it or not, a tremendous population of elderly in China. And
Yeah,
so something
but-
like this is the only thing that's taking
It
them out.
sucks because you can't tell. They all look like they're 25.
That's the thing about Asians. They either look 25 or
Or
105.
Yeah. Yep.
And they all look wise.
Yeah.
Like they've got information for you. Like they should be sitting like crisscross applesauce and just
Yep,
disposing
exactly.
of wisdom.
That's so racist, but in a good way.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good racist.
I think that culture, like the Chinese culture, and even like like
Go
the
ahead. Just
Japanese
lump them all together.
No.
Try to do it smoothly. Go ahead.
No,
Go
well,
ahead.
like the Japanese culture and the Chinese culture, I always found very interesting to me. 'Cause they're kind of similar. They
I
are.
feel the same way about
I-
North America and Africa.
No, but they have well, no, fuck off.
They do have a bond.
They do, and no, but I always found that Chinese culture like very interesting.
You just got it. They sail together.
I'm sailing
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I always found their culture very interesting. But it's fucked up because
Who?
like,
The Japanese or the Chinese?
no, the Chinese. I mean, I find both cultures interesting. But I think the Chinese culture is interesting. But then it got, the population got. I mean, it's fucking massive. And you have these people that live over here in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like still in their old ways, like I said, grinding up goat horns and like this is gonna take care of everything. And the worst part is you think about that amount. There's way more of them than there are of the United States. There's like 1 billion of those people.
There's more than that.
then-
And they've been
And then-
smoking
no.
unfiltered
And then-
cigarettes
no.
and working in factories, and they're living
then-
100 years old.
But then you have what I'm saying is you have those people doing that. Then you have the next step of the almost like the blue collar workers who are fucking melting the fucking gold out of circuit boards with fucking acid in buckets in the middle of the street. You know?
I mean, this guy's in Fall River
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, well, yeah. But then you go to like a city like Wuhan, which is more closer to a first world country than, you know what I mean?
Than rice patties.
Yeah,
I got you. Okay.
That's what I was getting.
It's an
at.
industrial
It's
environment.
an industrial environment.
It's like Shenzhen.
They don't
and all
have
these
so
other
many.
places.
They don't have so many regulations, but these are people that have access to.
All right,
certain
but they're
things.
still subject to adverse work environments.
Yes.
Okay, these are not happy, healthy
No.
people by the traditional sense, but they're all living a stupidly long life because maybe it's because they're not being poked and prodded by doctors. You ever take an animal that looks like it's getting old and sick, and you take it into the vet for the first time in a few years, and the instant they find something, that the animal dies? Like it's like the instant they find a tumor, they poke it, and then the animal dies.
Yeah.
But if that cat was left alone, or that dog was left alone, that dog would have lived another 3 years.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they're better off because they've developed this immunity to the environment around them. There's a great story down in the Mid-Atlantic. Black squirrels appeared out of nowhere after the Industrial Revolution. Within a few years of all the soot and everything getting in there, not only did these animals just get dirty, but it actually became encoded in their DNA. And so black squirrels were appearing and being born because of the filth in the air that came out of nowhere. They adapted and they assimilated. And so the squirrels, they're still black squirrels down there. And it's basically
And
a
it was probably like you said, genetically. I don't think it was because they were getting covered in shit, but everything else was. It's a camouflage thing.
yeah, and well, that was
Either way, they adapted.
They
within
adapted to
and
it.
it was
Yeah.
within 20 to 30 years. I don't know if it's an urban legend or not, but it's something we heard about quite often going to school down there. And I feel like the people in China, because there's so much industry there, They make everything in the world.
Yeah.
I almost feel like their bodies have adapted over time to survive this. And if we went in with...
They've become the cockroaches of the human race.
if we went to them with
We
Western
dropped
medicine...
an atomic bomb. Well, not on them, but...
Not again.
Not again. But these people... Like, no, but I know what you're saying. They're like
You want to have some fun with like Asian people? Just go up to their windows at night and just go...
Yeah. No, but like you said, you start to adapt to these conditions. I mean, I don't know.
You ever wonder if you just sent like American doctors over there, like Doctors Without Borders, and you get a bunch of working class people in Wuhan, and you go over there with like flu shots? Watch them all just start dying.
They would, because their bodies would
'cause they're
stop
not-
being efficient.
I think we don't give the human body enough credit for survival.
Yep.
Okay, babies used to fall out of women that didn't know they were pregnant. And I don't mean on TV. I mean like back in caveman days. They would drag them for miles probably to find the next fire pit.
Yeah.
Or dead buffalo, you know?
Like, chew this thing off.
Yeah, seriously. Can somebody gnaw this thing off of me? It's screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
And they just drag it in and boom, 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 boom. The head's bouncing off rocks right in the soft spot. And yet the human race survived. We don't give the human body enough credit to do its own thing.
Yeah.
We're so dependent on pharmaceuticals. Now, maybe the Chinese people have it right because their average death age is 100.
The funny thing is, like you said, we rely on so much shit. You gotta wash your hands, and everybody uses antibacterial. Everybody gets fucking sick. And now they're saying, don't use antibacterial too much because you're ruining the fucking good
Immunity.
bacteria.
There's a reason shit exists.
You have good bacteria in your hands too. And not only does it kill 99% of germs, it kills 99% of the good bacteria in your hand. So then the next thing you touch might be just bad bacteria. And then now you've got it.
Kids get sick twice as much as they did when we were kids because we wrap them in bubble wrap and
Yeah.
don't let them play outside. And I'm guilty of this. You know, I work in the basement of my house. I can't keep an eye on my kids. Even if they're just playing in the driveway, I'm afraid that they're going to get dramatically hurt because I'm not watching.
Yeah.
My parents didn't give a fuck. I'd get on my bike and disappear anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'd fall and I'd scrape my knee. You know what? I survived.
Yeah, It's funny. We had the fire department, which is about a mile from my parents' house. Every day at 6 o'clock, they'd sound a horn off. I don't know the reasoning. My parents said, when you hear the horn, you've got 5 minutes to get home.
Yeah.
I'm
or
pretty
whatever
sure
it was.
that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Right, but just fucking go. And we did. We just went. It was awesome.
No, we had things like, I mean, I was obviously the old when the street lights come on type thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Shit like that. But yeah, it was always, and that was a different time because we had a fire, the fire department at noon used to set the thing off. And my mother always would want me to check in.
At noon?
Yeah, when the
Ours
fire
did the same
department
thing.
thing, she's like, when the fire department things goes off, just I want you to check in. So I'd come back, I'd drive back to the house, and usually with a whole pack of my friends, a wolf pack. Fucking watch out, Corey. No, we would go. You know,
They were just
we'd
tormenting little Jewish kids.
we would just like drive by the houses.
Most of the kids would go home and check in. The Jewish kids just started crying on the spot.
Yeah.
Just sighs of relief coming from that pocket of town.
But that was, that was a thing. But
I'm still stuck on the black squirrels. Every spring in Maryland, you start hearing like the Wu-Tang Clan coming out of the trees.
yeah,
Instead of birds chirping,
They're
you just hear bass in the forest.
all talking about their
like,
big nuts.
these nuts.
Yep.
These nuts.
Bunch of squirrel kids walking around with no parents.
Yeah.
Gold chain.
Sorry. It's been in my head for 5 minutes.
Walking around with no
Bunch of latchkey squirrels.
You know those inner city squirrels, right? Urban squirrels, we'll call them.
They're being raised by squirrels just like a year or two older than them.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Just knocking off walnut trees next door and shit.
Giant Baptist squirrel church.
All the gray squirrels kicking them out of their tree.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
All right, so masturbation boosts your immune system.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that went far.
Yeah.
I actually think we made some good points there, though. I honestly, we tried not to get too intelligent on here,
We were talking a little. Yeah.
but I think that was a real conversation.
We went where the conversation took us.
You know what? We're going to come back to Asia in a minute, but let's head south. Australia.
Yeah.
Australia.
Now, we've had what I think is an extreme reaction to coronavirus.
Yep.
Okay, we've avoided talking about it on here because it's been so fucking ridiculous. Not only for the clearing out of the shelves, but also the reporters faking the clearing out of the shelves.
Yeah.
It's at this point, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
I think the thing with the reporters, I was going to make a comment on it earlier. The reason they're doing this now is because there's no journalism anymore. Twitter is now our journalism.
Yeah.
Okay, the first person there who gets the photo is now the guy who broke the story.
They need the quick clicks.
Yeah.
and-
Journalists have to do things like this just to do something relevant.
Yeah.
So I almost get the desperation. I don't agree with it ethically,
But that's what's going on.
but that's what's happening. And
Yeah.
so it's creating a panic where there isn't one. Truth be told, I was in a store today and there was nothing missing from the shelves.
No, there's not.
Because I actually needed toilet paper, not an excessive amount of it.
I may need an excessive amount of toilet paper.
Dave's gonna need a lot of it.
But between the shit stories and boosting my immune system, I'm gonna need a lot of toilet paper.
Dude, your immune system, I don't know what it's
I am the
fighting.
healthiest person on the East Coast right now.
Well, you evacuate everything daily.
Well, well, get the poison out. Keep telling you.
Yeah, and a spleen. But Australia, they're doing things a little differently. Now, I expect a little more from a former prison colony. I really do. But apparently, there are newspapers down there, because there's such a shortage of toilet paper, the Australian newspapers are now including 15-page inserts that are blank.
Just blank paper.
Yeah, and that's because of the fire and everything. You know, the
Right.
fires, because the conflagration of fucking Australia.
You haven't had a word in 2 weeks, so don't get caught.
You got lucky today because we didn't have any.
No, I know.
By the way, your word this week, Asian borders.
Yeah.
No, Asian cultures.
Yeah. No, but I was just saying, because of the fires, they have obviously a paper shortage.
Of course they do.
You know, I mean, fucking, there's like hardly any trees there to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, everything's a lot of bushes. They got a lot of bushes.
They have shrubs.
Yeah.
The shrub forest.
So I get it. But then I thought to myself, instead of why, for one thing, newspaper? The fuck is buying that?
It's like, I got a shit. Go get me a Sunday paper.
Like, I mean, I get it. There's still newspapers around and stuff. It's fucking going away. Just pack it up. But if you're gonna print blank pages, why don't you just take those pages, send them to the toilet paper company, so they can whip up some toilet paper. So I'm not wiping my ass with a fucking emery cloth, tearing my asshole to bits. Because listen. I was a bachelor. I lived my own. I wiped my ass with plenty of newspaper. Where you got to crinkle it up for an hour while you're sitting there. You just keep rolling it in your hand so it's real soft.
So you
For an
soft
hour? For an hour? How much time are you spending it there?
You can't just take you can't just take a brand new newspaper to wipe your ass. You'll just move it around.
And your fingers will poke through it. And so
Yeah.
you got to soften it. You got to roll it around in your hand for a while.
Yeah, you gotta.
That's the
oh
trick.
yeah,
That's a trick.
you
trust
can't have
me.
any creases. No.
Yeah. You got to
No creases, no points.
You just keep crumpling it up, and it gets soft, and it turns into a piece of toilet paper.
You know how after you've sandpaper for a while and you get all the grit off of it.
You. I made a 40 grit joke earlier.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Nah, you get the ink and the sheen off the paper.
Yeah. It breaks it down and it gets all soft, and then you're good. But yeah.
All I want to do is I want you both to fucking take silly putty and put it on your rectum. Just so you can pick up the family circus.
Yeah.
Some weird quasi-Christian joke backwards coming off your asshole.
What are you doing? I got to read this hairy Play-Doh in the mirror. Hold on.
What was that one comic from growing up, Boner's Ark? Do you remember that
What?
No.
one? Yeah, they were all on an ark. They were on a ship together, and they never left it.
Oh,
There was
no.
a bunch of animals talking.
I remember that. What was
that
it
one.
called?
But that was back when Boner didn't mean
Bono
what it-
meant like a joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a mistake or something.
See, I don't remember that. I remember like
For better or for worse.
I remember
Wizard
that
of
one.
Oz.
That was the one where the kids never aged, and then out of nowhere, the writer decided that they were going to grow up.
Yep.
And now the kid's 18.
yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did that. 2 dogs died, one saving a little baby. Like, all of a sudden got like this weird, like, Desperate Housewives thing going on.
Newspaper comics were actually pretty fucking good.
I looked
loved
forward to
it.
them every
That's-
Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Because they were the color ones. I
was-
would take
yeah.
that out of the Sunday paper.
It was
Yep.
the colored part of the paper. Like, your parents would get the Sunday paper. That was the first thing I'd grab. Like,
I was the same way. Yeah.
Well, because Craig couldn't wait to find out the latest capers of Brenda Starr.
no, but you had the Spider-Man, which was every week.
Spider-Man was in there. I liked the Peanuts. It was simple.
Peanuts was
They
great.
did their job.
Wizard
And
of
then,
Oz.
of course, Boner's Ark.
Boners are. Oh my god.
And the Lockhorns. I liked watching Unhappy Marriages, even as a child.
Hagar the Horrible.
Hagar. I liked Hagar. That was always fun.
Garfield.
And then The Far Side, which
Far
was
The
Side.
Far Side, which
Epic.
is amazing.
Yeah.
so many imitators have tried doing that single box comic.
Yeah.
What's
They've
what
all
was it?
failed.
Non sequitur was the
Yep.
one that
Non
followed.
sequitur
Was the
was good.
closest
Yeah.
one that got
Yeah.
to it.
All ripoffs.
Oh,
Yeah.
a total ripoff, but it was the one that got the
But it was the one
closest
that got-
to
yeah.
the Far
Melissa
Side.
bought me the Far Side anthology. I own every
I
Far
have,
Side
I have,
comic.
Really?
I have that.
I have them all.
That's
I have
amazing.
I have
Every
that
one
book,
of them.
too.
And it comes in this giant box set. It's 4. I haven't even gotten through half of it.
No shit.
It's so fucking good, and you realize how brilliant they really were. Every joke that Non Sequitur did is directly
already been
lifted.
done?
It's been lifted. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
no way to cover it. But anyway, the point of this was you guys have newspaper on your assholes. Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
Focus. Focus.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
phone
watch
books.
this episode will spike in Australia. 'Cause be like, that's how you do it.
I tear apart a phone book in a second.
I am tagging this episode Boner's Ark.
Bonus arc. Yeah.
Because I talked about jizz lobbing earlier anyway.
Yeah,
so
you
it-
did.
Pew pew.
I think people should do this with the Providence Journal. I think we should send the Providence Journal to the world.
Just
And,
blank.
Well, it doesn't matter. Nobody's reading it anyway. The Providence Journal is the most useless paper in the world. Providence is the most useless city because it's not one. But every writer on the Providence Journal now is syndicated. It's all coming from other cities. There are no real, other than the editor and maybe one or two lead
Really?
writers, Providence Journal is syndicated. Walk past the Providence Journal building. No lights are on.
Really?
Nobody's-
It's just a printing
It's
press?
just yeah.
They're syndicating. They've got.
Is it similar to what you described
basi-
2 weeks ago
it's
with like
basically-
radio where they have like a
It's-
centralized joke?
Yeah,
Please.
they're a curation site now.
Gotcha.
And so their website, they've got writer. I mean, it's not
They've
completely.
got to have a few.
They need some local influence.
Yeah, there's
but
a few local writers that are in there.
But they're getting from the Associated Press probably 80%
Wow.
of what's in the newspaper, and then they've got a handful of more or less freelancers doing all the local shit, which is like the local business profiles and some real estate shit.
Yep.
yeah.
The newspaper is dead as we know it.
Yeah.
And Providence isn't even a real city, so they didn't deserve one to begin with. So I think you should just crumple that up like for an hour, like Craig said, while you're sitting there just unleashing
rolling
turbo.
around.
That's what Dave was doing at that punk show. Dave was hanging around looking for fucking flyers for upcoming shows and crinkling them up real good and then clogging the toilet with them. God, I love calling back to an episode that's so fucking gross.
I wish there were flyers in that stall.
I can't wait to shit at this show, too. I can't wait to come here and not see the band and clog a toilet.
I'm pretty sure it was my underwear that clogged the toilet. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Did you really flush it? You sick fuck.
What else am I going to do? To walk out with a handful of shitty underwear and just throw it in the trash?
Nobody touch you in the mosh pit. That'd be a good thing.
I was the mosh pit.
Why does every mosh pit have a nucleus like
Mush
Dave?
pit.
It's just a guy like Dave who smells like shit and just pushing people off. They're all trying to run into him.
Yeah.
It's like an orbit thing.
I was like one of those little sticky toys that just kept collecting hair and dust,
Those little
just sopping up
octopus
people
things
as I walked around the mosh pit.
You throw that octopus against the window and it just crawled down.
Yep.
Think fell on the floor once. Over.
It's like when you play with Play-Doh and it's got an afro, it's time to throw it out.
Yeah.
Dave had a chia pet. It was just mold. It was mold on a Mr. Potato Head.
If your plate of Play-Doh spaghetti has a receding hairline, get rid of it.
Look like Stanley from The Office.
Yeah.
All right, fuck Australia. I'm glad you guys are wiping your ass. The Wallabies are thrilled they're no longer being used. And a lot of our listeners in Australia, thank you for ranking us this week. We are still ranked in Australia.
Still ranked.
Hey, we love you.
We do love you.
You criminals.
But we do have to go back to Asia. We got to fly back north. We should have done this one out of order, but all right. I got to read this one.
Yeah, this is right up your alley.
This
right
is.
now, especially.
There are very few things I like in this world. One of them is bars. Another one is people who hate people.
Yep.
I do the show for that reason. And now I found a bar in Taipei where I will risk coronavirus. I will lick a puddle of coronavirus to hang out in this bar as long as they don't charge cover. They started the Misanthrope Society, a Taipei bar for people who dislike humankind.
Yep.
And it's literally just a bunch of stools purposely spaced.
Yeah.
And there's quotes all over the wall. They're quoting French fucking philosophers in a Chinese bar.
Yeah. They are.
And it's Jean-Paul Sartre. And it's hell is other people.
Yep.
Painted on the wall in a bar. And they've got a full tap list. And yet, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Is the beer good? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
You
matter.
go there to look straight ahead like you're at a fucking urinal.
That's just it. The only thing that make it better would be cubicles. Like, that's just you can go there and enjoy a beer, and then all you do is you want to order a beer, you just hit a button, and it rings a bell, and a little slide door opens, and the girl hands it through and shuts, and you can just sit there and be miserable, and that's it.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is to go there and know there's other people and see them and purposely, without saying anything,
Not
say
talk to
fuck you,
And
and
judge
have
them.
them know that you're saying that, and them doing the same thing, and you're all good with it.
Actually, that's
That's
is
the point.
better.
Is to know I'm in a place that I don't want to fucking see anyone, but I want them to know I don't want to see them.
because that's like everywhere I go.
Actually, that's really the misanthropic thing.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I do like going to bars where I feel like the bartender is only paying attention to me. Even though I know that. I used to like semi-populated bars. Like, you don't fight for a drink. You never have to wait for a drink.
People aren't bumping you.
No.
Yep.
No. You got your own space. But you also know you're at a place where you're not truly the only guy keeping the lights on.
I got you.
Yeah.
But I do like when the bartender will then avoid the other 9 people at the bar
And come and give you-
only
bullshit
come
with
talk
you.
to me,
Yeah.
because then at least then it's inflating my ego, because that's really what misanthropes are. They're egotists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually a great concept, and I'm going to franchise it here.
Yep.
I was gonna say, like, I sense a field
Right.
trip.
I think. Yeah. I think this might be the thing.
That's it.
It should be called, needless to say, don't.
Don't. Yeah.
That's it. That's the name of my bar.
Oh, it's perfect. It
Name
makes
of the
total
bar is
sense.
just, no.
I can't count how many times I've been out with friends or with Rand, and I'm like, I fucking hate people.
I fucking hate it.
I'm in traffic. I'm here. I hate.
I saw it when we went to go see Cycle. You guys were sitting at the bar eating, trying to get a meal in before the concert because you knew we were going to drink.
Yeah.
You couldn't have looked less happy.
No,
And you were on date night with your wife,
There was
so you
some-
should have been thrilled.
because there was a kid next to me just chatting my face off.
Yeah.
Nice
like,
kid,
leave
great
it the
kid. But
fuck-
like, dude,
'cause
listen,
you
I'm
don't-
trying to fucking inhale 16 wings before the show comes on in 7 minutes.
With my
Shut
wife.
Up.
Shut the fuck up. Don't give a fuck about your fucking day. I don't know you. Fuck off.
Right. You might be like, we might be friends in 12 minutes, but for right now,
Right
go
now,
fuck
leave me the
yourself.
fuck alone.
Which is funny because my wife next to me is thinking the same thing and looking at me.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Or, yeah. Or just look at me.
We
You
have
know,
that understanding.
Sit down, say hi, yeah, whatever. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you using that?
Yeah.
You're not? Okay. That is the extent of
when
the
I
conversation
when I
want to have
listen,
with
when
you.
I'm in a bar and my elbows are on the bar, I'm closing myself off to everybody else. When I lean back and I do one of these jobs, I'm good.
Me and Brad hung out in the same bar for 2 years before we hung out.
Right.
Why?
Well, I was talking to your sister.
Well, yeah. Well, there was that. But no, because I didn't step outside of my comfort zone. I went there to do.
Guys don't
what
go
I
to
did.
bars to make friends.
I went there to do what I did.
Well, we all jump in on each other's discussions. That's something
That's-
that guys are good
that's-
at, and that's exactly how we
That's
did.
that's how we did.
But
meet.
that's not. It's different than going out for a purpose. You're going there like if you go to a bar and you're going to watch a game, you expect to have conversations about the game with whoever else is there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is. The difference with other people go looking to meet people like I want to meet this person. That different. It's a
Yeah.
different motivation.
Yeah, I have no desire to learn about your day.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
don't
care.
give a
But
fuck.
did you see that
don't.
fucking play?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
The funny thing is, the three of us, most of the time, we probably couldn't care less about each other's day. Did you see what we were talking about or what we want to talk about tonight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's
So all those encouraging words you sent me today was all just
Oh,
bullshit.
No, that's not
bullshit.
true.
He don't
No,
give
no.
a fuck.
I do. I've been there. I get it. I can empathize.
It's
with
a
you.
bad scene, but you know what? I'm going to open this bar because one, I need employment, and two, I also love some of the other motivations for it.
This is Brad's bar.
I think it's-
we're never open.
Well, I like the fact that he named it Brad's Place. I think I didn't know it was going to
You just
translate to
stand there. As soon
Szechuan.
as you
this
go to
one.
pull in the door, it just turns the sign closed. Sorry, we're
It says
closed.
closed on both sides of the sign.
Closed her.
Closed her and more closed her.
Even more closed than before.
It's an 8-sided sign. All of them indicating how little I want you in there.
He just frowns at you and turns it slowly and walks away and walks back into the darkness like the lights on. It's just a little light above the door. He just turns it and backs up.
I do it like the last episode of Cheers. Sorry, we're closed.
Yeah.
It's like 6:15.
Oh, shit.
I should name the bar Shit Emoji.
Yeah.
Not the actual emoji, just the name. Shit
Just a
Emoji.
shit emoji. I'm just going, turd. Where you going tonight? Turd. You guys going to turd?
Turd After Dark.
Yeah.
But one thing I do love about this, the guy who founded it, I forget his name, it's Chen something. And I mean that.
No, what? It was
yeah.
Chen. I can't.
I forget his first/last name. But he was inspired to open the bar after spending a month in a mental health hospital.
Yes.
And he decided, he goes, as bad as his situation was, he still didn't want to be around other people. Everybody was trying to convince him that he needed to be around other people and learn how to socialize. And he's like, no, I fucking don't.
Yeah.
I need
So-
to be by myself.
But I'm going to create a venue where other people who also hate other people can feel comfortable coming out and yet not being out.
You want to be in a social setting that's not social.
You don't
Yeah.
want to be home.
That's it.
I should be able to go. How many times have I said I'm going to a bar to
That's
hug
the
a
thing,
bar?
is if you could walk into a place, right? Just think about this. You're in your own head. You're having a night. You can walk into a bar and sit at that. There's a little bit of music playing in the background. It's got a decent, like aesthetic.
Yep.
And it did. It's dark. They made it dark for that reason. But it's got a decent aesthetic. There's other people in there, but they're not gonna fucking talk to you.
They're doing their own
They're
thing.
doing their own thing. So you sit there, now you sit at the bar and you can think your own thoughts and be in your own head. Not that every time that's the best thing, but you can be. But you can be, and you can sit there and you can enjoy it and you can have your drink and maybe talk yourself out of shit. Or come up with your own solution to an issue that you had because you don't have somebody else's influence. You come up with actually your solution.
And I actually
to an
think
issue.
that's where he was going.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a drink you can order. Now,
Yeah.
not all drinks have a requirement, but they have a gin-based drink over there called Last Words.
Last words. And you
And you are basically asked to write down what you will say on your deathbed, and then you're asked to put it in a bowl. And that's for everybody at the bar to read.
That's
yeah.
excellent.
And you can just walk up, pull it out, read it, throw
Like,
it back
I
in.
usually hate theme bars. Like, if you're serving hard liquor and you're coming at me like, it's magic.
But you know what's funny?
I don't like that.
But you know what's funny? That's a cool way to actually have you interact with the other patrons of the bar without
Without
actually talking,
interacting with
without
It's free
interaction.
therapy. Let's
Yeah.
call this what it is.
Yeah.
He came out of a mental health hospital with a
The
bunch
guy's
of
a
fresh
fucking
tips.
genius.
I think it's great. And in Taipei, the less time outside you can spend, the better.
Well, I think we can all agree that whether we're at a bar, we don't want to talk to people. If we're in public, we don't want to be around people. And like I said before, Ray and I have said it, fucking hate people.
Yep.
And if you're part of a group, you hate people too. Sometimes those people are in your group.
Yeah.
I'd say amen, but that implied that I go to church with other people.
Yeah.
So let's say amen.
Yeah.
Single men.
Oh, amen.
Almond milk.
So what we found out recently is that some groups decide that, hey, I don't like people so much, I want you out.
Yeah.
And the celebrities and musical groups are not an exception here. Public Enemy recently dismissed their founding member Flavor Flav.
After how many years?
Got to be 40 years.
40 years.
40 years. I mean, they haven't done much the last 38.
No,
but
not 40. I would say at least, close to 40 years. Never mind.
it was, I mean, we're talking late 80s, early 90s.
I mean, Chuck D is now, what, 71?
Yeah.
Now, Chuck D, honestly, in the era of gangster rap, he got like lost in the shuffle. Because once Dre came out and he introduced Snoop, and then all the gangster rappers came out, his tough kind of political rap got lost. But what was Public Enemy really known for? It wasn't Chuck D, as good as he was.
Yeah, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
But so they fired Flavor Flav over. Why did they fire him?
They fired. Well, the headline read that Public Enemy fires Flavor Flav after a dispute over Bernie Sanders rally.
And what happened was they were going to use Public Enemy music during a Bernie Sanders rally, and Dre was like, "Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Any chance to get this music out there."
I once again am gonna ask for your help. Yeah, boy.
Bass, how low can you go?
What's a brother know?
But yeah, so Flav was not having it, and Chuck D was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
And now you look at the legal documents. These legal papers came out very quickly.
Yes.
Yes.
Which leads me to believe that they have just been waiting for a reason to fire Flavor for a long time. And yeah, he's been a bit erratic. He was dating Brigitte Nielsen for a while.
Oh yeah.
Showed up on numerous reality shows. He got roasted, and he took it like a champ. But let's face it, the guy has never been stable.
No.
He's never been a good representation of anything political that they represented.
He's a mascot.
Yeah.
He's a mascot.
He was a mascot who never. He's not a classy guy.
No.
You know what I mean? He's just not a classy
He's
guy.
not as intelligent as the music they were trying to portray.
Yeah.
Public Enemy was
They were
gangster.
political.
They were smart before rap got smart.
Yeah.
They were the Rage Against the Machine of the rap community.
Yeah. And he was the guy.
I'm not going to say anything about
Well,
that.
no, I'm just like that's kind of the vibe. They were political.
that revolution,
Yeah.
political stuff. The thing was, he was just there to go, yeah, boy.
Well, there was a
And
hip
where
hop
the
credibility that came with it.
And,
And
he
where
made
the-
them more accessible to the public.
And wear the clock around his neck.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was the dangling the carrot in front of the crowd.
I literally
basically,
look
you
at
know?
those two like a yin yang. Like,
Yeah.
like there was
Yeah.
a point counterpoint. Yeah, I represent the political angle, and he represents the people. But it was always about delivering a message to as many people as
Yeah.
possible. I can't imagine working with this man,
No.
much less for 40 years.
I can't imagine this man working.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just one of those guys. He got the go ahead to be in this band, to be in Public Enemy.
They
and
were
he got it.
friends. I mean, they
And-
came
no,
up
they,
together.
They came up together, and he did his thing, and they did their thing, and he was just riding on the coattails of Chuck D,
how many-
basically. And if you ask me, he was riding on the coattails, and he became the literally almost more popular one because of his He was very gimmicky.
I was going to say, how many people could pick Flavor Flav out of a lineup that have never heard a Public Enemy song versus people that could pick Chuck D out of a lineup?
Yeah.
When I think Chuck D, I immediately go to Dre, because even though Dre was a little more casual
Yeah.
in terms of his delivery, they had a very similar appearance. They had a very similar demeanor. Like the way they spoke to the public, it was all about delivering a message. Chuck D talked about politics and oppression, and Drake was a little more close to home.
It was more
a little
personal.
more
but
personal,
it was
yeah.
ultimately about overcoming something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where Flavor ever fit into this mix, but to come this far into your career, now you like, let's say you're in like Foreigner, okay, and you got surviving members in the band, and nobody else is either alive or able to play their instruments. At the very least, you preserve
You're
what
as
you.
cold as ice. Yeah, boy.
I can't follow
Sorry.
that. I can't follow that.
Sorry.
My only point was you try to preserve what you had, you stupid prick. Wow. There's a mashup tour that's going to happen.
Welcome to the Night Terrors Dome. But like we've talked, we've talked about how many '80s bands going on
sorry.
tour together this summer that are 35, 40 years after they were popular.
And representing 2/5 of the original band.
Right.
When you take 50%, arguably the more noticeable 50%,
Away.
of a two-man rap group. I'm sorry, the DJ in Public Enemy, I don't know who you
Don't
are.
know.
Yeah.
I probably ridden the subway with you 100 times. I have no idea who the fuck you are. You can buy bread in my 7-Eleven. I will never point at you and go, wow.
He's probably selling the bread in your 7-Eleven.
No doubt. No doubt. How low can you go?
Holding it up.
What's a brother know?
So, I mean, you know what? We're belaboring this.
Great song.
Public Enemy fires Flavor Flav, but Public Enemy will continue. That was the point of the headline.
Yeah.
Who's replacing him?
Who do you take in to fill those shoes?
And Dave, since you led off this segment, I want you to lead off the answer.
So
Well-
we're filling in Flavor Flav's spot.
yeah. So if you're gonna fire Flavor Flav, who better than to replace him than the mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri?
Amen.
I was thinking Big Ben. The clock.
That's pretty good, man. I had Easy E, the AIDS victim.
I thought of Easy E too, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to make that joke. And you know, and by the way, if you speak Spanish, AIDS is SIDA. I don't know why I brought that up, but okay.
What do you got?
I
Dave,
mean, they could just go to Lowe's and buy a charcoal briquette.
it's true. He is a dark man.
I was thinking just an old VCR with the clock blinking. Like,
Oh, so you're just on this clock thing.
yeah.
I think he could be easily replaced by the guy in the rocking chair from that band Arrested Development. I saw them live once, and the guy literally just sits there and rocks and claps his hands, and I'm like, that is the most cushy gig ever.
Yep.
If you're gonna replace a wild kind of front man, why not do it with someone that can fill the shoes? Let's go with Sammy Hagar.
I can't drive 911.
As the late, great Greg Giraldo said, you could just fill him in with the skeleton wrapped in electrical tape.
I miss that fucking guy.
Right?
I also think he could be replaced by the guy in Cypress Hill who just repeats the previous line of the song.
Yeah, the guy that repeats the previous line of the song.
Yeah.
Insane in the brain.
Yeah.
I actually just cleaned yesterday. I've got a few dust bunnies from my couch that could fill in.
Then I was thinking Grace Jones.
Hey, Cat Williams.
You wouldn't know he was missing.
She saw those Kawasaki ninjas.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav got some new teeth
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. They look the same.
and a flat top.
The flat top. It's
Mediocre penis. They all have.
My God, fucking Grace Jones.
Grace Jones was. I swear to God, you could picture her just standing over a guy going, "Suck my dick."
yeah. She fucking
looks
manhandled fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger like a bitch.
My nuts didn't shrink. It's
I'm gonna-
Craig's.
I'm gonna say because his single line, Groot.
Why not?
Why? Groot. Groot.
I think Flavor Flav can be replaced by any less popular black corpse.
Old dirty bastard's happy.
All right, I only had one more. I was going to say, I think if Chuck D had to be paired with somebody just as relevant, he should be with Oates. The new song is called Sarah Smile, Bitch.
He's wearing farmer jeans and Adidas.
And for some reason, a blazer.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that should about do it. We've dragged this out as long as they dragged out
agree.
letting Flavor Flav hang in the band.
This was
Yeah.
no longer a roundup. It was like a preview
Yeah,
for
yeah,
another bad
yeah.
episode down the line.
We just fucking dragged these jokes on.
All right. So, let's do a little housekeeping. You know what? There's a reason we didn't really get into coronavirus too much. We don't like buying into hype. We don't like buying into panic. And we don't like buying into all the things that everybody in the internet is talking about. That said, you can't ignore what's stabbing you. So we decided to kind of, instead of making it a topic every week, we did our episode. This is it, folks.
Shit's contagious.
Can't avoid it.
Everybody clap.
Yeah.
You know what else should be contagious and viral? Is the all-new Needless to Say podcast.com.
Yes.
Oof, all new.
That's right, and we chose that URL because a longer one would have just been ostentatious. That was the one that was available with a .com. Everything else was a .tv, a .biz, and a .fuck you. We're not doing it. We went with a .com. The site, honestly, nothing really to write home about, but if you're introducing your friends to the show, which you should be,
Yeah, exactly.
bring them there. We decided rather than putting every episode on the pages, what we did was we had our handpicked favorites. We had some ones that kind of give you a good cross-section of the show. And we have some ones where we're celebrating with some friends so you can see our interviewing chops here and there. I actually think we did a pretty good job. We made lemonade out of lemons, and it's going to get better. We're probably going to go to something more advanced soon, but considering we're almost 3 years into this show, the fact that we just launched a website is a pretty fucking good accomplishment. Also, we don't use our normal blue color, so consider this a wild, rebellious side of Needless to Say. We're going to be putting links on that website to our swag shop at represent.com/store/NTS podcast. And already there is our links to social media on Twitter at NTS_podcast, on Facebook, NTS_podcast, and on Instagram, where Dave is kind of slacking a little bit because we blew so much sunshine up his fat ass. On Instagram at all lowercase Needless to Say podcast. Dave, do me a favor and tell me a little bit about our not forgotten friends over at Endeavor Podcast Solutions.
Oh, we can never forget our first sponsor here.
Never.
Our friends over at Endeavor Podcast Solutions. If you have any issues or trouble or need help with your podcast, want to get started, need help with ideas, looking for ideas, intros, outros, editing, anything you need podcast related, our friends at EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com will help you out. Go check them out. Craig, why don't you round us out for the evening, my friend?
Needless to say, we said it.
Do you have a great idea for a podcast? Or maybe you already have a podcast, but you're getting overwhelmed with editing or production? Head over to EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. They have everything you need, from intros and outros to editing work, voiceover, you name it. That's EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. Podcasting simplified.